All right, what's going on, guys? So we're just gonna have a fun little discussion today. I don't really have anything crazy to react to. I don't have any Call of Duty stuff to post, but I do have something interesting to talk about. I don't know, maybe we turn this into some sort of series or something where I just get on here and we just have a little discussion together or whatever. But anyways, y'all have probably seen me talk about this on Twitter like multiple times now. I don't know if I'm just crazy, but I just find this whole topic very interesting. And by that, I mean the whole idea of like different animal fights. You know what I mean? Different matchups. Like who would win in a fight? A lion versus a tiger, or like a shark versus an alligator, or a grizzly bear versus a silverback gorilla. Like, you know, all the crazy different matchups like that out there in the world. There's so many that we could come up with, right? I know obviously we're probably never going to get the answers to any of these questions because typically these two animals would never really meet in the wild and they're never going to fight. I mean, I guess somebody might set up like a secret underground animal fight league. That probably already exists. I bet, you know, all the billionaires get together on their secret island and they have like a little animal fight league that they bet on, you know, and that's not the craziest thing, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if we find out about that one day. But I just think the whole concept is just fascinating. But I think the even more interesting part of this, where exactly we as humans stand on the food chain, because obviously we are way smarter than every other animal and we developed guns and weapons and houses and cars and all that to live in society. You know, we took over the world because we just happen to be, you know, way smarter than like a tiger or whatever, right? But if it wasn't like that, right, just for the purposes of this video, if it came down to pure hand-to-hand combat, where do we as humans fall on the food chain? You know what I mean? Because now I think we're in trouble. We don't have claws, we don't have the teeth, you know, we don't got all that sort of stuff equipped on us. That's why, you know, we had to go create guns so that, you know, we don't get fucked up. So the question of the day is, what do you guys think is like the biggest, toughest animal you could take in hand-to-hand combat? And we're gonna answer that right away. I'm gonna go through my thought process on this, right? So right away, I think pretty much we have no chance versus the tier 1s, the apex predators, you know, like the lions, tigers, polar bears, like anything like at that level, we pretty much got no chance, you know what I mean? Like even like the absolute best human prospects we could come up with, like the Mountain from Game of Thrones. That guy is enormous. I don't know what his exact stats are. I think he's like 6'11", maybe 7 foot, 400 pounds. Literally one of the strongest humans in the whole world. Like I think he literally won World's Strongest Man. But if you put him in there with a tiger, it's GG's. It doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? So I don't think anyone here is really debating that, right? So that's pretty much ruled out. Also, I think anything that has like too much of a size advantage is out of the question as well. So like elephants, rhinos, hippos, anything like that, you know, they are like killers. Although I heard hippos are actually like underrated. Supposedly like they're pretty tough. You know, you wouldn't expect it necessarily, but they aren't like hunters necessarily. You know what I mean? Like elephants sit there and eat grass all day, but at the end of the day, there ain't nothing you got for an elephant. I think anything like that is out of the question as well. And then also lastly, I think anything in the water is also out of the question, because obviously as humans, we aren't designed to breathe underwater, so we are immediately at a huge disadvantage, you know what I mean? So I don't want no action with anything in the water, you know what I mean? If we got any Michael Phelps type people watching, you just a swimming expert or something, you built like that, hey, maybe you feel differently, but the water, that's not for me, man, all right? I don't got it like that. So those are like my 3 disclaimers on, you know, who I feel we could take, you know, but that still does leave us with quite a bit to choose from. So I think at a base level, any like normal sized grown ass man should be able to handle all animals at this level. So I'm thinking like, you know, like smaller mammals, you know, I'm talking like a raccoon, a smaller dog, a possum, anything like that, you know what I mean? I think anything that's around like 30 pounds or so, you should be able to handle, right? I think we all feel pretty comfortable with that, right? Now, obviously, there are a couple exceptions, all right? Now, don't get it twisted, okay? We have things like the honey badger. They're also about 30 pounds, but, you know, they're built different, okay? I'm pretty sure it's like generally noted that the honey badger is like the toughest animal pound for pound. Like, it's pretty small, like it's only like 30 pounds, right? But if the honey badger was like, you know, like the same size like a lion or a bear or something like that, if it was way bigger, it would be like the unquestioned toughest animal in the world, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think anyone's gonna be handling anything like that. But, you know, as far as like basic animals at this level, I think the good like baseline test for this category would be the coyote, because I actually see coyotes walking around at night all the time. I live in Texas. They just like to roam the streets. I don't live out in the country either. Like, they're literally like walking through neighborhoods and stuff. Like, they don't care. But I've seen enough of them to where like I got a pretty good feel for them. You know, they're pretty small. They're like 30 pounds. I'm pretty confident in my ability to handle a coyote. You know what I mean? I got that. You know, I think that would be a good test to get things started, because, you know, you hear a lot of stories about how like coyotes killed someone's dog or something, but then you look at the story and it's always like a little chihuahua or something, you know what I mean? So they're not really like that, you know? They're not really like tough, you know? They like to pick on little animals, and also they like to like travel in a pack as well. So, you know, they ain't built for the 1v1s, you know what I mean? So they don't feel comfortable in a solo setting unless they're bullying like a little small guy, you know what I mean? So I think a coyote is a good place to start. You know, I feel pretty confident that I could put hands on a coyote, all right? So that's level 1. Now we got to bump it up a notch, okay? Let's go to level 2. I would say this would be around the 50-pound category. Now, there are definitely some tough guys in this category. We have some of like the smaller wolves, the smaller species of like leopards and stuff, some of the smaller like big cats as well, like lynx, stuff like that. You know, those would definitely be like the toughest choices of this category. But I feel like if you're going to take on a wolf, you should take on a real wolf, not like some little soft, you know, 50-pound little guy, okay? You want to take on a real wolf. So, you know, we're not going to include them here. So I think the real answer here would be like a deer or a gazelle or an antelope, you know, whatever, you know, that category, you know, whatever they fall under. I'm gonna keep it real. I like my chances versus like a 50-pound deer, you know, so whatever deer that may be, there's like, I don't know, 1,000 different species of deer in the world, especially because they got those little ass legs, like, you know what I mean? Their legs are like the size of my wrist, you know what I mean? Like, that shit can get snapped up pretty easily, I feel. But I did also do some deeper investigation into this one, right? And I think a good second option, and this one might be even a first option now that I'm thinking about it, I think another option would be the emperor penguin. Those are those big ass penguins. Apparently they can get to be about 50 pounds. A penguin is not taking me out. Now, if we want to go in the water, you know, we want to go in the freezing cold water of the Arctic, all right, that's all you, bro, all right? But on land, this waddling ass, big ass penguin is not taking me out. I'm gonna keep it real. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, the penguin might be number 1, because the deer, they can still like kick you pretty hard, you know what I mean? They kick pretty good, but a penguin, like, that fool don't got nothing for me, bro. Like, what's he gonna do, man? Honestly, I just don't feel like he got nothing for me. So 50 pounds, I think everyone could probably take out a penguin as well. Now is where it starts to get kind of tough, okay? Now we're looking at about the 75-pound range. This is where a lot of the tough guys start to enter the conversation. Now we have like the real full-grown wolves, leopards, chimpanzees even. Don't sleep on the chimpanzees, man. I've heard some crazy stories about chimpanzees, how they just like grab people's eyeballs out of their head and like grab people's faces and like rip them off and stuff. They're like exceptionally strong. I don't know what the deal is with them. Like, but once again, you could find like a 75-pound deer or something. Like, that's a pretty easy answer. I feel like that's pretty similar to 50 pounds. Like, the deer might be a little bit bigger, a little tougher, but, you know, once again, I think that would be a pretty easy choice. But we already used that answer, so, you know, we're not going to use that again. I think this is pretty much the peak level for most, like, normal humans, you know what I mean? Because after this, we're going to have to go to, like, 100 pounds, and that's when you really actually usually get like the tough guys. You know, it's pretty much GG's once you go to like 100 and above. So I think the answer for this level for about 75 pounds would be like the pussiest dog that you could find that is that big. You know, obviously you don't want to choose like a pit bull or a German Shepherd or a Rottweiler or something like that. Like, you know, those are all pretty tough. You don't want none of them. So I did some research on, you know, what the bigger breeds were, and, you know, I looked through them, and I think that the correct answer here is gonna be a poodle, man. Like, look at this dude right here, okay? Let's go ahead and run that, bro. I will take my chances, me versus something like that right there, okay? I'm gonna keep it real. I like my chances. Compared to everything else that we have on this list in this category, like, I feel like this is like the clear answer, you know what I mean? And once again, like, you know, dogs are tough, you know, dogs are tough, but if I had to pick a dog, like, it would be this guy, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think this level is pretty much the highest we can go as humans and still be the favorite or still have like a good chance, you know what I mean? Because after this, it goes to like full-grown big wolf, you know, mountain lion, bears, anything on that level, you know, it's just GG's, you know what I mean? You would be a huge underdog versus anything like that. Obviously, it could still happen. You know, you hear stories about how, you know, some dude was in the woods and he got attacked by like a bear or a mountain lion, and somehow he survived or whatever, you know, you do hear stories like that. But for the most part, if it was really like a fight to the death, like, you're not gonna win that. Like, some of these, I might be open to the idea. Like, if you offer me like $1 million if I win this or something, you know what I mean? I might be down for me versus a wolf for $1 million. Like, I'm probably not gonna win that. Although, it does depend on the size of the human as well. Like I said earlier, like the mountain, like, he could handle a lot bigger animals than I could, because he's literally like twice my size. But, you know, for your normal sized individuals, I think 75 pounds is probably about the peak that we're gonna get. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the video, man. I don't know, I just find this stuff very interesting. Maybe I'm crazy, but y'all let me know in the comments what the biggest animal you could take on would be. And I already know everybody about to comment, yeah, man, I could take on a lion. I'm built different, bro. You don't know about me, bro. Yeah, bro, you got it. Okay, but anyways, that is pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like rating if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are not already. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description down below. Check out my last video if you missed it. We read all of the leaked Pokimane messages. They were quite embarrassing, although quite funny as well. So check that out if you missed it. But like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day and peace out.